Things guys say to keep the conversation going. Hi, hello, it's Ann. Guys, let me know if I'm wrong. Ladies, pay attention. Let's go. One, I'm just gonna start off with this one because it's very obvious. It's the, what are you doing? Moving on. Two, they ask random questions, but one of the most popular ones is, did you eat? And three, I love this one. I don't know why, but I love this one. It's when he has literally nothing to say, so he just talks about whatever is randomly happening around him or something that he remembers happened. So basically just explaining like a really short story, hoping to get a reaction from her. Guys, let me know.
Nigga, what?
Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that notifications button so you can get the videos as soon as I put them out. All right, guys, I'm back in the studio now. You see I got the paintings up, and I'm going to be answering questions today from an email, and one of the questions that I got asked is, how do I keep a conversation going with a woman? I'm going to be speaking from a digital standpoint because not a lot of you guys are cold approaching women or dealing with women in a physical form. Most of you are communicating online for long periods of time before you're actually getting around meeting together. Now, people will always tell you, you have to be confident. One thing about it, you will always be nervous whenever you get around the person that you like. It's that simple. I still go through it myself. Everyone's going to go through it. When they come across someone that they like, they're going to always be nervous. So you have to understand what shows signs of nervousness: anxiousness, apologizing, asking too many questions, worried about how they feel. Don't ever ask her those things in a text message, and never apologize for things that you say. That's going to make you look weak, and it's going to make you look desperate. A confident person normally can talk without apologizing. At the same time, confident people are not afraid to talk and others feel offended. So talking to her, learn to be honest and speak your mind. And the reason for that is because a woman can spot a man who's lying, and she can spot it fast because women learn men way faster than what men are going to learn women, because women have more practice. So you must start off first being confident at everything that you say. And when you say something, you have to stand by it, and you can't apologize for it, and you can't constantly worry about how she feels. A lot of guys make that mistake. So learn to speak with honesty, but at the same time, don't confuse speaking without thinking with speaking the truth. All right? Understand the two.
How to keep a conversation going with your crush over text. That way they absolutely love you.
Next, keep the interest on her. Never point out things in your life unless she asks. It's that simple. Too many guys want to volunteer to talk themselves up. Oh, I'm doing this with my life. I'm doing that with my life. I got this going on. And then they start throwing around the word entrepreneur. Everybody starts throwing around the word entrepreneur. It doesn't work that way. Women know the guys that are really about something, they can really break down what they do, how they do it, how they make the money. She knows that already. So when you're just trying to talk yourself up, like you're going to school, you plan on being a doctor, or you giving some lavish life, never talk yourself up. Keep the interest on her. Women love to talk. Let them talk. Let them continue to talk. The less she knows about you, the better. Because by the time she gets done talking, she's going to say, all right, I'll overtalk myself. Let's see what he's about. That's what you want. Whenever you're first dealing with a woman, she wants to tell you everything about her. And she doesn't want to be interrupted with you trying to upstage her. That's how she's going to look at it, like, all right, it's about me, but now he started talking about this. He started talking about that. Just think about the time on Pineapple when the engineer guy, science engineer, got pineapple because he talked himself up too fast.
What are you? You're reading?
Yeah, I was actually reading. I ship out in a few days, so I was just reading The Art of Strategy.
Okay.
Okay, nice. Well, best of luck as you ship out pineapples.
Yeah. Why?
Because he literally didn't tell me any qualities about himself. He's just like, I made a 96 on this. I did this. And I feel like I did that at first too. But however, I need a man with some personality.
And everybody was like, oh, you should not have did that. He's a science engineer. Girls don't know how to appreciate men. No, don't talk yourself up. Keep the interest on her. Only talk about yourself when she asks. Next, lose the ulterior motives. Little sister her. Play her in a little sister zone. put her in the friend zone immediately. The quicker you put her in the friend zone, the quicker you're going to pique curiosity, because most guys, when they come across women, are going to say the same thing over and over again, and women are just sitting back waiting on the robotic form. Most of the time, women are going to sit back while you're talking and be like, yeah, I know. Here he comes. Uh-oh, he's about to say this. He's about to say this. Women sit back and pretty much amuse themselves with the ability to predict what a man's going to say next. Once you place her in the friend zone, you start talking to her like a little sister, maybe crack a couple of jokes on her, say a couple of jokes out there, be a little bit sarcastic, a little facetious. That starts to speak curiosity to a woman. When you're constantly coming in trying to butter her up and be nice and be in a romantic mode, you're only telling her that you need sex. When you friend zone her, you're telling her, I have options. Next, you have to learn to ask open-ended questions in the right open-ended questions. What, when, how, and where. You must get used to starting those things off with her. What, when, how, and where. Because those are going to require her to keep talking. It's just that you have to choose the right content that fits the what, when, why, and where when you ask her it. And you cannot continue to ask her these things back to back. They have to be sporadically, mainly when there's a little bit of dead air or when you find a new topic to talk about. That's when it's good to throw in those open-ended questions. You must master open-ended questions because it reveals more of her, but you have to be careful what type of open-ended questions that you're asking. You have to be careful asking her the open-ended questions because she may feel that you're trying to interview her, and that's going to stall the relationship and make you look a certain way. You have to understand the way people read text. It's totally different than verbal communication. So be careful with those questions because she is going to read it and you want to make sure she's not reading it a certain way. Next, learn to send memes instead of text. I'm going to say it again. Learn to send memes instead of text.
What?
Mira, first of all, what you're not going to do is do that.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Women like little memes, especially if they're feeling down and you send her a funny meme answering a question. That'll be a good thing to do for her. It keeps curiosity going. Sometimes when people are constantly texting back and forth and you're sending big paragraphs to do an explanation, you can drown somebody out. So when you start sending memes, that starts creating moods. You know, it starts having her like get entertained in a way. So learn to not respond sometimes with words and just respond with a meme, because sometimes words can be too personal, and too many words perceived the wrong way is going to have her going to another guy. Why? Because she can easily post a photo and replace you and start this text messaging process all over again. Text messaging and verbal communication is totally different. You maintain text messaging too long, trust me, you will get replaced. Next, you have to learn to mix up the form of communication. What do I mean? Maybe communicate with her one day on Instagram. Next, communicate with her on text. Then maybe FaceTime her and communicate with her there. That's going to pique curiosity too. Let's say you guys started a conversation in a text, but you answered the question in the Instagram, but you didn't answer it right away. It's just that when she was waiting for it to be answered on the phone, it came through the Instagram, and then maybe you FaceTimed her. Never become complacent with communicating with her the same way. You're going to drown her out and she will eventually get bored. You must learn to mix it up with women. You cannot do the same thing repetitively. That's including telling her the same thing. You cannot always be in a mood where you want to be romantic 24/7. You're going to make her angry. Women want to see a comedy side of you, but then they want to see a serious side of you. You must be able to express both of those through text message in your communication process, that you can handle both. But one thing that you don't want to ever show her is that the things that she do affects you emotionally. You have to get in control of that, because the moment her actions affect you emotionally, it's over for you. She'll always be looking for another man. Next, what if she's not communicating back? It's simple. If she's not texting you back and the flow is not going good, or let's say this, let's say you guys start text messaging and life is going good, conversations are going good, she's showing interest, and then all of a sudden it stopped, let it stop. Let that dead air be there. Let that dead air be there. If she ain't text you back in 6 hours, leave it alone. She ain't text you back in a day, leave it alone. I'm telling you right now, that's called a test. Most women are going to give this test to men. Nowadays, women are going to do this test even more. She wants to see exactly how emotionally involved you in. Because when a lot of guys start off texting with a woman and then she just stops, you don't know why she stopped. But then they snap and they start sending her bad messages. Why you ain't picking up the phone? I don't trust none of you girls. I don't do this. And then she starts seeing your emotional side. She's now found a reason to leave you alone. But let's say she's not communicating with you. You're going to pique curiosity to her like, whoa, he ain't checking why I'm not texting him back. He's not checking why I'm not. That's what you have to understand. She knows that she's not texting you back, and she's doing it on purpose because she's looking at her phone 24/7. But what she's doing, she wants to see how bad you're going to react to it. What are you going to do different? She may be sitting around her friends like, girl, let's see what he said. You have to be careful with that. That can be an ultimate test that can make her fall for you, or it could be another test that said, he's just like all the other guys. Now, if none of this is working for you and you don't have a form of communication, you have wasted yourself watching this video. This video is specifically for guys who are already talking to women in the relationship. All right, comment, like, subscribe to both of my channels. Hasta la vista.